I'm gonna hold all of them. Kitty. Ah, I'm so excited. Wow. Okay. I have way too many books. I don't know if I hate the pigtails or love the pigtails. I'm not really sure. Hi everyone and welcome to another TBR video. Today we are choosing my spring TBR. If you're subscribed to my channel, you'll know that I do seasonal TBRs instead of monthly TBRs, just because I don't read enough to do each individual month. So we're picking our spring TBR because the way that my mind sees the seasons is that spring is March, April, May. Instead of doing the quarters of the year, like the first 3 months, the second 3 months, I do seasons instead, just because for my brain it makes sense. So today we are picking our spring TBR, and I'm going to be using my lovely TBR jar for the very first time. At least I think this is the first time I'm using it. I might have used it one other time, but I can't really remember. So this is our first official TBR jar video. I'm so excited. I have written so many little prompts in here, and this is actually from an old candle, and I just love the jar so much that I had to keep it. My cat is hanging out in the background up here, so hopefully he doesn't fall. But the last time I did this, I had picked half of my TBR myself and the other half with a color wheel. This time it is fully up to the jar. I will preface this video by saying that I'm very bad at sticking to my TBR because I am a mood reader at heart, and sometimes I will think of video ideas for reading vlogs that are not on my TBR but I really want to do, so sometimes it just gets in the way. For example, right now I just finished my Throne of Glass reading vlog, so that will be up soon. Kitty, are you okay? So that will be uploaded soon. Sometimes the video idea of the week just gets in the way with the TBR, so we'll see how much we can do. I'm going to try to be more strict about it not this month, this section of months, this season. There we go. I'm gonna try to be more strict about it this season because I do have 3 months to get through some books. I feel like I don't have any excuse, and I'm the one picking the books based on the prompts, so it really is my fault. So I'm gonna stop yapping and we'll get into the video. I will preface by saying I have a very large TBR. My TBR is over 270 books. I'm trying to get through my TBR. That is my goal for the year. I'm gonna try to knock off as many books as possible and try to stop buying as many books. But I have this entire shelf to choose from. I have a stack right here to choose from. I have a stack here that you can see the top of, and then 3 stacks on the floor next to me. And I also have this skinny shelf here on my bookcase. So a lot of options to choose from. So let's get into the first choice. Let's see. Multicolored cover. Let's see. There's a lot of them, but my very first thought was little one. Again, I just have stacks and stacks of books. It's really bad. Just because this book does have a lot of colors on it, and it has been on my TBR for the past few months. It is an ARC copy, although this book is officially out in stores now. It was published in February. It doesn't say the specific date. February 3rd. So it was published on the 3rd, so it's been out for about a month now. And I got this as an ARC while I was at a bookstore. I was working at Barnes & Noble, and they have a whole rack in the back of ARCs that you can grab. So I have a few ARCs on my shelves now, but this is a really good option. Then I also just noticed that Booked for Murder is also a really good option. It's got a lot of different colors, and this one I actually just requested the audiobook option. So ooh, this is really floppy too, so this might be a good option as well if I wanted like a mystery. This one is more literary fiction. It's about a journalist that uncovers her hidden past as the daughter of an insidious cult leader. It's got, I'm assuming, trauma, grief. I don't know how to describe it, but it just itches my psychology brain. And then this one is obviously like a murder mystery crime book. It says that Madeline Brimley is at loose ends when she gets word that her beloved eccentric aunt Rose passed away, and in her will she left Madeline her equally eccentric, I can't say that word, eccentric bookstore. The old Juniper bookshop is housed in an old Victorian mansion in the small college town of Enigma, Georgia. Okay, so it's like a murder mystery in a bookstore. Okay, so that is until there's another fire and a murder in the store itself. Now with a cloud of suspicion falling over her, it's up to Madeline to untangle the skein of secrets and find the killer before she herself is the next victim. This one one is a maybe. I think for this prompt, I'm gonna go with Little One just because it's been on my radar for so long and because it's one of the first arcs I've ever had. So I think that's extra exciting and special. All right, so we have our first choice, multicolored cover, going to Little One. Let's pick our next prompt. I also don't know if people take these prompts out of their jar after they're done or if they put them back in at the end. I'm not sure. Let's see. I can't get these things open. Book with mental health rep. Okay, can you see it? It's all bent. Let's see. That's kind of hard to determine unless it's the main plot of a book. I don't know. It's gonna be really hard to remember because I know there's a lot of books out there, especially contemporary romances, that are being made that have a main character with anxiety or a main character going through grief, and that is good mental health rep, but it's hard to just remember off the top of my head. However, I do see a book right now that I know talks about generational trauma. Ah, they're all falling down. And I feel like this would be a good book to pick because I've heard, one, such great things about this book, but two, I heard that it talks a lot about the impact of generational trauma, and that is The Bright Years by Sarah DeMoff. I don't know much about this book, but I just watched Rachel Catherine's wrap up and she said that it's a very great book and it really ties in the impact of families and the impact of trauma and how you can take that with you through generations. So I think I'm gonna choose this. I don't know if there's a specific intentional mental health rep or if the plot is just about trauma, but we're going to go with The Bright Years as our mental health rep choice for number 2. I also don't know how many books I want to do. My number I'm aiming for is 8, but I'm also open to 10 if this is fun. Alrighty, let's see. Book that comes out this week. Can you read that? Coincidentally, this week there are a lot of new releases. I'm filming this on March 3rd, and today a bunch of new books came out, specifically In Her Own League by Liz Tomforty. Also, Just Friends by Haley Pham came out. I've heard very mixed reviews about that, but I am curious to see. So, which one should we pick? I'm definitely leaning towards Liz Tomforty's book. It comes out today, so I think we're gonna choose that one as number 3. Even though it's not on my physical TBR, I have been on a book buying ban, so I feel like this is our only loophole, just because I obviously won't have a book that comes out this week on my physical TBR, but we have to go by the prompt. So we have a book that comes out this week as In Her Own League by Liz Tomforty. Number 3. Okay, let's see. Book you're scared of. What book am I scared of? Honestly, I think I'm going to pick Beartown just because of how many people love it and how many people say it is soul-crushing. Beartown has been on my TBR and just on my radar in general for a very long time. I've heard such great things about Beartown and I've really wanted to read it, but I've just heard that it is so sad. So many people cry. So it makes me really nervous, but I am really excited about it. So I feel like this is the perfect prompt to decide to read Beartown. So Beartown is going to be our pick for book we are the most scared of this month. All right, we're cruising through this. I feel like I'm being very decisive, where usually I'm very stuck. I feel like this one's meant to be. It is literally on my finger. But usually I'm a lot more indecisive. I think now I'm just more, what's the word? I'm just more eager to read and I just want to read all my favorite books. Ooh, Pookie picks. Oh no, he's not here right now. Oh no, he's not here to pick this. I wonder what he would choose. I'm assuming he would choose a book that he wants me to read, so he would probably pick Finishing Throne of Glass or starting ACOTAR, because I have not started ACOTAR. Let me text him quickly and we'll see if we can get a response by the end of this video. Okay, I sent him a text. We will see what he says and see if we can get a response. While we wait on that, let's choose another one. The jar just really wanted me to have him choose. Oh, let's see. Fake dating trope. I don't know which ones have that specifically. Does this series have fake dating? Because I really want to read this series. Okay, this one's like friends with benefits, so it's not really fake dating. Is Heartless fake dating? Working as a nanny for the world's grumpiest single dad should be simple, except she can't keep her eyes off this. No, this is like nanny. Not really. Let's see if either of these two are fake dating. They're literally covered in dog hair. It's crazy. No, this one's like secretly dating. Yeah, their affair is secret, no strings attached, but has a built-in deadline. What about this one? Well, this is like rivalry to lovers. What the heck? Why can't I find fake dating? Is this one fake dating? No, this is like rival's sister. Like close proximity rival's sister. What the heck? Ooh, is this one? There's a few of these. I'm struggling. Fake dating I feel like is one of the most popular tropes, but for some reason I can't find it anywhere. Let's see. Okay, this is giving fake dating, I think. Willow and Dev are determined to keep things strictly professional regardless of old feelings and the blazing chemistry between them, but in the glittering and high-stakes world of Formula One, some lines are meant to be crossed. Okay, so it says, so when Dev offers her a temporary solution, she can't help but say yes, even if it means ignoring the crush she's had on him since childhood. Or does he just hire her? I don't know if he hires her as like a PR person or if it's fake dating. I can't tell. This is annoying. This is fake dating. Finally. And viewers are eating them up like a cupcake, sparking the idea to play up their relationship for good press. With more than just their careers on thin ice, the line between what's real and what's for show begins to blur. But one thing's for certain, this PR stunt will either be a total game changer or leave them both totally pucked. Finally, we have an option for fake dating. Wow, I didn't think it would take that long. But we finally have our pick for the fake dating trope. It is the game changer. Whew, by Lana Ferguson. Lana Ferguson comes through once again. We have 4 books so far. We are waiting on our 5th. Let's see what we've got. Your favorite cover. Let's see what we can find for my favorite cover. There's a lot. What's my favorite cover? Honestly, I feel like this is the perfect book to choose because I bought it purely because of the cover and I have no idea what it's actually about, and that is The Berry Pickers by Amanda Peters. There's a lot of covers that I absolutely love from my physical TBR, but I feel like a book that I bought purely because of the cover is the best option for this pick. So we're gonna go for this one. I'm pretty sure it's literary fiction. Have genuinely no idea what it's about. I know I read the synopsis like a year ago and I was interested. I wanted to buy it, but I didn't purchase it until recently. I just decided that I wanted it, and this will be for our favorite cover, The Berry Pickers by Amanda Peters. This is fun. I think we're gonna do 10 because I don't want to stop, and I'll give him a little more time to respond to me. Let's see. A new release. Oh my god. I don't have any new releases because I'm trying not to buy any books. Let's see. And all the books that I have purchased in the year 2026 are older books. I bought some from Half Price Books, and then I bought Heated Rivalry, which is not a new release. How new are we talking? Like within the last year? Within the last month? What is new? I think I know what we have to choose. I have another ARC from Barnes & Noble while I worked there, and it did come out in March. I think it comes out today, actually. It's on the very top shelf of my bookcase, and that is A Far-Flung Life by M.L. Stedman. It does come out today. It comes out today. The day I'm filming this book is being released. I am very fascinated by this book, but also very intimidated. I think I get easily intimidated by literary fiction because you really have to be invested. It's not as eye-catching or as like dopamine hitting, if that's a sentence, as fantasy or romance in my opinion. I think it takes a lot more, but I think the reward in the end is a lot greater, if that makes sense. So it says, when we do something that can't be undone or mended, how do we go on living? How do we find our North Star when there is no right answer? These are the questions at the center of M.L. Stedman's unforgettable and magisterial new novel, A Far-Flung Life, a sweeping and epic story of a family, a tragedy, and the aftermath that reverberates for decades. I'm not going to tell you much else. I'm just going to read the last sentence. The secrets at the heart of this gutting and beautiful story force him to choose between love and duty, sacrifice and happiness. These are the questions Stedman asks in her profoundly moving, uplifting, and luminous new novel about what the heart can endure for the sake of love. And it feels like such a tearjerker, but I think it's going to be really, really rewarding. And it comes out today. So I feel like this is the perfect option for a new release, because it quite literally comes out today. So we're going to be doing a new release, A Far-Flung Life. Far-flung, I can't speak today. I think it's interesting that we have 2 of the ARCs from this little TBR jar. Okay. I have two that just... Should we just do both? Because they're not coming apart. Let's see what the first one is, and then we'll do the next one next, obviously. Book club, book, or pick. And this is actually perfect timing because my book club that I have with my friends, we just chose our March book, and that is Legendborn by Tracy Deonn. And I still can put it on the TBR. So this is the most obvious choice for me. I really am excited to read this because it was one of my choices. We put all of our choices on a wheel. We each got to pick 2 books to put on a wheel, and then we would spend it every month and choose our book that way. And this is one of the books that I picked. So this is my very first pick in our book club. None of my books have been picked before now. So I'm really excited, and this is what we are going to be choosing for our book club pick. We'll be doing Legendborn by Tracy Deonn. I'm so excited. Okay, now we'll see what that other one was that was tied with this one. Ooh, choose from Goodreads challenge. I wrote these when I was more on the Goodreads train instead of the Fable train. I am now obsessed with Fable, but I do still have a Goodreads that I update regularly. So at least last year they had these little challenges that you could do. I don't know if they have them anymore. Okay, they do. So for example, it says on here that I have 5 out of 12 challenges done. I'm just gonna put screenshots up on the screen because it's a lot easier that way. I'll go to challenge details, and it looks like I have a few of them already. So let's see what the other options are. Let's go into lasting reads, and then you have the option to choose browse qualifying books, and we'll see if we have any of those on the physical TBR. We have literally the first one, and I've been wanting to read it. So let's grab that book. We have Wild Dark Shore by Charlotte McGonaghy? Charlotte McGonaghy, please. I've heard such good things. I don't think I've heard a single rating under 5 stars about this book, so I'm very excited to read this, and it does count as our lasting reads, and I get another challenge on Goodreads. So we are choosing Charlotte McGonaghy's A Wild Dark Shore. Let's see, how many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's working on 9, so this will be our last one of this video. Let's see. Okay. A page count between 300 and 345. That's a very specific page count. So we'll see what we've got. Let's see if this F1 book is between that. Nope. It is 400 pages. This one is probably 400 pages. 356, so just outside of that range. Not in Love might be in that page range. 377, what? This one looks too thick. 389. This is gonna be harder than I thought. Oh, this one is 320. 322, so this is an option. I also want to check Hooked, because Hooked seems a little thin, so this might be an option. 329! And I am more interested in Hooked than this book specifically. I feel like this is a good summer book, and I really want to read an Emily McIntyre book because I have yet to read one of her books, and I'm very interested in supporting her as an author. So this is our final book of this video that I am picking, at least. I still have to hear from my boyfriend about what book he wants to pick. I'll be very shocked if it's not a Sarah J. Maas book because he is currently on Kingdom of Ash, and he's already read ACOTAR, and he is bullying me relentlessly to read both books, or both series. For our page count between 300 and 345, we have Hooked by Emily McIntyre. So unfortunately, he has not gotten back to me. He is at work being responsible, so I don't fault him there. It is also the middle of the day, so he is probably very busy. But first, let's do a rundown of our spring TBR. I'm so excited. This is such a good setup. I'm very, very excited about this. The first book we chose was Little One by Olivia Mounter. I need to look up how to pronounce her name. This is a literary fiction book. Then we chose The Bright Years by Sarah DeMoff, another literary fiction book. Then we chose Beartown by Frederick Bachman, another literary fiction book. Then switching it up a little bit, we have The Game Changer by Lana Ferguson. This is a romance book. Then we're hopping back to literary fiction with The Berry Pickers by Amanda Peters. Then we have A Far-Flung Life by M.L. Stedman, another literary fiction. Then we're gonna dabble a little bit in YA fantasy with Legendborn by Tracy Deonn. Then we have Wild Dark Shore by Charlotte McGonaghy. This, I believe, is a thriller, mystery, literary fiction. I think it's kind of a combination of literary fiction thriller is what I've kind of been told. And then last but not least, we have Hooked by Emily McIntyre, which is a dark romance, I believe. It's like a Peter Pan retelling, but more dark romance. And then we have whatever my boyfriend decided to choose. I think I'm just going to put his choice here because if he doesn't get back to me by the end of today, I just don't want to refilm this whole thing. I will put his choice here. I hope he chooses well. If it is anything but Sarah J Maas, I will be shocked. But either way, I am very excited. And that is all 10 books that we are going to be reading this spring on the Spring TBR. But that is it for today's video. If you want to see more TBR jar videos, I am very excited to go through this jar again. I can't imagine what other prompts I decide to put in there. I think it's fun that I wrote these like 6 months ago, so I genuinely don't remember what the prompts are. But if you have any prompt ideas for me, please include them in the comments and I will include them in future jar videos. Maybe I will decide to throw the old ones away and then we can replenish the jar with your ideas and then some other ideas that I come up with. And that'll be an exciting way to include everybody and get some fresh ideas. So if you don't already subscribe, please subscribe down below. I post a bunch of reading vlogs, I post a bunch of reading content and crafting content. I am going to start posting more about my crafts because I absolutely love being home and being a homebody and an introvert. So if you're interested in any of that, please give this video a like and I will see you guys next time. Bye!